What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated Tony TGD coming at you with another dumb journo take. This time we're looking at Ladyem McDivitt's toxic video game culture and why I don't call myself a gamer. Now, this lady, Ladyem McDivitt, she might not be familiar to you. You might vaguely remember hearing this name. But when you see who she is, you'll probably, it'll hit you. You'll be like, I do remember that. But you know what? Let's put a pin in that right now. And let's go ahead and discuss this article. Now, Miss McDivitt, she starts off letting us know that she really enjoyed playing video games as a child. She remembers playing as Peach in Super Mario 2, Chun-Li, Dixie Kong. She really enjoyed playing those female characters because they talked to her. They made her feel special. She was a female playing female characters. And it's really interesting that she's playing these games and she's telling us about it because she then tells us that she was born in the late 80s, which means she was born at least at the earliest 1987. So when she was 1 year old, she played Super Mario Brothers 2 and she remembers it, and she felt the need to connect with a female character at 1 year old. She's been super feminist, super SJW since the age of 1. Oh my god, I feel sorry for her parents. But I don't think that's the truth. I think that she's straight up lying. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I think that she's straight up lying. She needed to find some female characters that she could pretend that she played as a child. These were the only ones she can come up with because, of course, she didn't do any research. She just grabbed some fucking popular names off the internet. Chun-Li, Princess Peach, Dixie Kong. I mean, she could have said she played, remember playing as Pocky from Pocky and Rocky. That was on Super Nintendo. She could have said she remembered playing as Samus Aran in Metroid or Super Metroid. But no, she went with the popular choices because she probably didn't do any research, which is going to be a recurring theme with Miss McDivitt. So now she lets us know that, she played World of Warcraft and she was out in the freezing cold getting that Nintendo Wii. She runs her little podcast talking about anime and playing video games and manga. She's a gamer, but she just won't call herself a gamer because the term is really, really bad. It's extremely gendered and it's loaded. It's completely loaded. And why? Why is it loaded? Because, well, a little thing called Gamergate happened in 2014. As people who are in the know, Gamergate was all about ethics and game journalism. Now, Ms. McDivitt will have you believe that it wasn't, that it was just some kind of harassment campaign. She'll skip over all the piles and piles of evidence to the contrary of her claim because she is a liar. And so she's going to claim that Gamergate was bad, and that's why being a gamer is bad because some people were harassed by some other people, and that makes all gamers bad, or some shit like that. I don't know. And of course, she brings up Miss Leigh Alexander, who wrote the great piece. Gamers don't have to be your audience. Gamers are over. One of the many gamers are dead articles that kind of kicked the hornet's nest, if you will, and really set Gamergate off and running. Of course, reading the little quote here from the article by Miss Leigh Alexander, you kind of get a sense that Leigh and Miss McDivitt, who is quoting this, really don't like men. They don't like males. They don't like white people. They probably, feel intimidated by their parents. Maybe their dad was a little strict with them, told them they had to go to bed early, eat their vegetables. They didn't like that, so now they're lashing out. But it's fine. It's fine. I don't know what's going on in their head. I'm not gonna play psychoanalyst. I'm just gonna go ahead and look at the bullshit that they put on the paper, and I'm gonna let you know that it is complete and utter bullshit. So after she goes through and lets you know that gamer is a bad word, it was based on some harassment campaign. She's gonna let you know why she doesn't call herself a gamer. See, because she went and got herself a degree in game historian history, game looking shit up and pretending like you know what the fuck you're talking about, I guess. And this is really the heart of why I'm even looking at this article, why I'm even discussing it. See, Miss McDivitt has a PhD. And when people have PhDs in front of their fucking names, then other people think they actually know what the fuck they're talking about. They say, you know what? Whose opinion am I going to listen to? The PhD or the loudmouth asshole on the internet? They're probably going to take the PhD's word, even if the PhD is full of fucking shit, which Miss McDivitt is, as I have repeatedly said so far. But now she's let us know that in her research she's gotten some harassment, some pushback. Man, if only there was a way we could see this harassment. If only Miss McDivitt had included the harassment in her article, like a link or something. Like if the internet existed and we could just click on a button and see exactly what she's talking about. You know what? I think there's a way. I really do. Let's look at Twitter. Yeah, I know. It's a toxic cesspool, so there's probably going to be some stuff on her Twitter. Let's go ahead and take a look at her Twitter. We're going to take a little side mission here and go look at all the harassment she's got on Twitter. I'm not going to see any harassment here because her tweets are protected. Must have been from all the harassment she got. Shit. But you know what? I do have this search here for her name on Twitter, and seems like the only thing I could really find is Brad Glasgow here. Now Brad, he's sympathetic to the Gamergate cause, so you know journos don't really like him. He's on the outs with the game journal crowd. But reading his little thread here, it appears that Miss McDivitt decided to give a speech discussing the early days of Atari and making claims against Nolan Bushnell. And when she did this, there was another account that was live tweeting what she was saying, you know, just giving people an update that weren't at the conference, weren't at the little speech, that let these people know what was going on. And this kicked off people who actually worked with Nolan Bushnell, females who worked with Mr. Bushnell, to tweet at Miss McDivitt and let her know that she was full of shit and the things she was saying about Nolan were completely and factually incorrect. Now, you might ask yourself, why? Why would Miss McDivitt say these things? Why would she not talk to these women at Atari? Why, oh why would she think that she could make these claims? Oh yeah, that's right. She wrote a book called Hot Tubs and Pac-Man, Gender in the Early Video Game Industry in the United States. And in this book, Ms. McDivitt actually repeats the bullshit about Nolan Bushnell and all the sexism and wild parties and just drugs and behavior that's just completely out of character for people who know him. And it's a book that sells for $86.59 here on Amazon. And if we scroll down, let's see what people are saying about the book. People that bought this book, all the reviews of, I don't know which one to choose. So many fucking reviews of this book on Amazon. Which one should I pick? You know, they say that if you take the amount of Amazon reviews, multiply it by 100, and you'll be in the ballpark for about how many sales the book has. So I'm guessing Miss McDivitt, she ain't making that much money off of this fucking book. Which might bring us back to this article we were looking at here, this masterpiece, if you will. Because it seems very familiar, this whole pattern of saying really dumb shit, getting pushback, and then claiming you're a victim. It's almost like I've seen it before. It's like somebody somebody who pretended to be like a researcher or like someone who knew about video games and like had a Kickstarter. I can't think of the name. Who was it? I'm sure somebody will know. Somebody's got to know who this person was that pretended to be into video games and then ran a Kickstarter, and then the money just kind of disappeared, and the videos that she was supposed to make didn't really amount to much. Just can't put my finger on it. But I'm sure somebody knows. I'm sure they do. Me, I don't know who this person was, because this person, if this person even exists, it's probably not important anymore, and we shouldn't discuss this person at any length. But that's the play Miss McDivitt here is making. She's kicking the hornet's nest, then bitching and moaning when she gets stung. Now, of course, she also mentions that she's been fighting with Reddit for the better part of 2020 because there's a post that's targeted at her, and it's harassment. So, again, it would be really nice if she, linked this post or this harassment, or had like a screenshot. If only I was able to search on Reddit for her name. Fuck. 2 posts. One on the article we're talking about, and one on an article she wrote about Catherine Fullbody. And that article has, that little post on Reddit here has 9 whole fucking comments. So I'm sure that in these 9 comments we're going to see a ton of harassment. It's just going to be so outlandish. So just let's take a look. So we got the guy who posted it, Be Volleyball Ready. He just commented that yes, someone actually wrote this paragraph. I mean, it's a little sarcastic, I guess. I mean, maybe it hurt her feelings. Someone telling her that she doesn't know what a trap is. I mean, I guess that's kind of mean. Someone's baffled that she could be offended, and another person agreeing, and someone explaining what the trans panic is. I mean, someone saying, dude, spoilers. Fuck, this harassment is just insane. The levels of harassment here is insane. I mean, nothing here. I mean, someone complaining about the sentence she wrote and the way she wrote they, and not being able to ascertain who the pronoun was talking about in the sentence. I mean, shit, I would just cry if I got this kind of harassment. But it's okay, because let's, you know what? Maybe we should go and see what her conclusion is. She says it's important to be critical of the media you love and consume. Unless, of course, that media is her articles or her book or her talks. Because you can't be critical of those, because that's harassment, and then she'll get on the internet and bitch and moan about it. I mean, she's always been interested in gender dynamics, and they've been entrenched into video games and their development. She doesn't tell us how, but she said it is, so I guess it's true. I mean, she's a woman who plays video games. She studies video games, but she's not a gamer. And I can tell you what, I bet you 99% of the people that read this fucking article will agree. Miss McDivitt is not a fucking gamer. She's someone who plays games, sure. This isn't her hobby. This isn't something she enjoys. This is something that she wishes would be different, that would change, that would fit her mold or what she wants it to be, instead of appreciating it for what it is. Now, of course, Miss McDivitt, this isn't her first rodeo. No. You see, if we go to her own website, she kind of she made a little post about Anne Takamaki from Persona 5, and she was complaining that Anne was being sexualized in the game. This fictional character was being sexualized. And I mean, she applauded the fact that Anne got over her rape and she was trying to own her sexuality, but she didn't like that the people who made the game made her wear certain outfits and took away her agency that I guess sort of doesn't really exist because it's a fictional character that just does whatever it's programmed to do. But she was upset about this and she wrote an article. Not the one we're looking at, no. See, this is an article where she's whining that people commented on her first article. People disagreed with her. And they weren't mean. They didn't harass her. They didn't call her names or shame her in any way. They just disagreed, said they had different interpretations of the character, different interpretations of the story, of the way it was written, of the way the character was. And of course, that's a no-no in Miss McDivitt land. No, see, if Miss McDivitt says something, then by God, that is true and you must fucking believe it. Because she said it and she's got a fucking PhD. So obviously, she knows what she's talking about. I mean, it's not like she says dumb things. Fuck, she says dumb things, doesn't she? She really wrote that PewDiePie, the gaming community, and the normalization of racism. This is just fucking insane, and it is something that has not gone away since at least 2010. This claims of racism, of people being kept away from video games somehow, that you know, like, they weren't made for minorities or women or others or dragonkin or fucking people that think they're like planet Mars or some shit. You know, a video game that you can just go to the store, pay, put in your machine and play. Somehow, white people are keeping you from doing this if you're not white. I mean, this is weird to me because I'm not white, and fuck, I've been playing video games since at least 1985, 86, somewhere around there. I mean, my parents played video games. Yeah, both of them. My not white dad and my not white mother. I guess they must have missed the memo. I mean, my entire family played video games. Everybody in my predominantly Hispanic neighborhood played video games. Fuck. I think this is a bullshit story. I think this whole idea that racism is rampant in the video game community, the video game culture, is bullshit. And people like Miss McDivitt simply have a bias against gamers, and they go ahead and they got confirmation bias. They go search out toxic people and then try to make it seem like that toxic people, the toxic person rather, represents all gamers. Instead of actually, you know, getting involved in the communities, talking to people who actually play video games, discuss video games. You know, instead of talking to those people, they just make assumptions. They just say, hey, this one person was mean one time, so fucking all gamers are mean. This one person was racist, so fucking all people are racist. And you know what? That's fucking bullshit. And I just know that when Miss McDivitt sees this, hears this video, someone tells her about it, she fucking searches her name up because she's that type of person. I'm sure that I'm going to get a lot of shit from Google, a lot of shit from YouTube. They're going to tell me that this is a bad video. And I was a big old meanie. But you know what? This fucking shit need to be done. People like this need to be called out. She has a fucking PhD. Other people are going to listen to her and think that she knows what the fuck she's talking about. And it's going to continue to hurt the community, the industry that I love. And pretty soon we're all going to be back to playing fucking Pong instead of playing these great games that we got. And we're going to go back to being isolated because everybody's going to be upset with each other. The idea that the other person is going to be mean to me, the other person is going to not let me play, is going to be ingrained to people's heads because they're going to listen to idiots like and Ladyem McDivitt instead of actual people who play games, instead of actually getting involved in the community, instead of actually going ahead and you know, taking that dive into the deep end and, you know, discussing things, sitting back, lurking inside communities and getting to know what the hell the fucking gamer culture is really about. No, they're going to listen to idiots like this, and pretty soon the stuff that I like to do, the stuff that you like to do, is going to be fucking gone because these people don't like it. These people think it should change. These people, they don't fucking like you. So if we don't call them out, if we don't fucking hold the line, if we don't say, fuck you, we don't need you, then we ain't gonna have fucking gamer culture. We ain't gonna have gamer community. We ain't gonna have fucking video games. We're gonna have bullshit. And I'm not gonna have fucking bullshit. And I know you're not gonna have fucking bullshit. And before I get really fucking pissed off, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. If you like it, fucking like it. If you don't like it, fucking dislike it. And if you really, really want to hear me fucking rant and rave and fucking go nuts again, then you know what? Hit that subscribe button. But like we say on the channel, love, peace, booty grease, and we out this bitch.